Last time out in Somerset, I gave you a tour of the newest station in the city. This one, in fact, Western Docklands. At the end of the video, I showed that the tracks actually continue to another new station, which I'm about to catch a train to. So while I'm on the move, let me show you where I'm heading. Hello everyone, it's M4J here and welcome back to Somerset MTR here on Minecraft. Now I was really looking forward to showing you an incredible time-lapse of the construction of Breakespeare Square, the newest station on the light rail loop, but unfortunately the replay recording of the bulk of construction has been corrupted, so instead you get to see me finishing off the build and I'll just extend the guided tour a little bit afterwards to show you the rest. Oh, and it's raining, because it always seems to rain in Somerset when I'm recording a time-lapse. But anyway, this is Breakespeare Square, a station located right in the heart of one of Somerset's richest neighbourhoods. Because of its location, the station has been designed to blend in with its surroundings, meaning we have a light rail station built to look like a Neo-Georgian townhouse. Pretty cool, right? The square itself is very unfinished, but the station design will be replicated quite a lot in the houses on the other three sides of the area. But yeah, enjoy the little time lapse here, and I'll see you on the other side when my train arrives, ready to give you a full guided tour. So here we are then, Breakespeare Square, the newest station on the map. I really like this build, and actually watching it come together again in the time-lapse there, I like it even more. Apologies that you didn't get to see the full building take shape. I have no idea what happened with the replay mod. I tried to load up that first clip. It was 2.5 hours long, so maybe that was part of the problem. Maybe I need to break it up into smaller chunks. But to be honest, a lot of that 2.5 hours was me trying to get the facade looking right. So probably it's for the best that it all got lost, because then you guys actually saw the good stuff getting built, like the lighting and the roof and all that good stuff. So yeah, this is platform level, and I really do like this. I wanted to design a station that was light and airy, but also practical, and I think I've definitely achieved that. We're actually on the 3rd floor of the building up here. If I look down over the edge there, sort of through the barrier there, you can see we're quite high up. We're actually lower down, I believe, than Western Docklands. There is a slope. I think we're lower down. We might actually be a little bit higher up. I'm trying to remember. But somewhere just around the corner, I'll show you the track leading to this station in a bit. But I think I think the track slopes up, so I think we are higher than Western Docklands. But then Western Docklands is built right on the side of the dock, so it's a little bit lower down than normal. Anyway, where was I going with this? So yeah, we're high up, is what I was trying to say. We're on the 3rd floor of a building. But as you can see, there's quite a lot of ceiling space above us as well. The roof was designed specifically here so that it would create lots of space, but at the same time wouldn't be 3 or 4 stories tall itself. So for the most part, I matched my own brief. I actually used a little design tool that I created to make this station and Western Docklands, and I was going to make that design tool available, but it didn't really work out the way I wanted it to, so I ended up scrapping it. But I used it for these two stations, and I do have another design tool that I have created since then, the sequel as it were, that was actually designed for OpenTTD, but it works pretty well with Minecraft too, and I've used that to design the track layout for Somerset Central, which is going to be off in that direction. And just for transparency, if I fly down here, the tracks do actually end at this point here, although there are some out there, but we'll talk about those in a bit as well. The tracks do end here. There's no mystery. Oh, guess where we're going next week? It's Somerset Central. We're going to Somerset Central. And it's not next week, it's next month. Stop talking, Mark. Let's get on with the tour. So, we got this like end of platform thing here. I don't really know what this could get used for. But it just means the two platforms are joined together at both ends. So you're not just crowding around the lifts and stuff like that. If you need to change trains for whatever reason and you need to go back the way you came, it happens. Sometimes you get on the wrong train. There may be junctions added in the future, which means changing trains here is important. You can do so by coming this way rather than going the other way. I think it's just a neat little feature to add. Yeah, all my stations pretty much are going to have that. I don't like choke points, and like imagine a full train of people, like 500 people. Not that we're going to have 500 people in this, but imagine we did. But they're all coming down here and they're all trying to cram on the single escalator or the stairs or whatever. Maybe I'll put extra lift shafts down there to mirror the ones we've got here. That's not a bad idea, actually. And then, yeah, more people can sort of separate and go whichever way they want rather than being forced a specific way. The chandeliers as well, I really like those. And even the ones coming off the pillars here. This station, it feels dark, but I think a lot of that is because of the deep slate and the... is that Blackstone? I think that's Blackstone. Let me get the right thing up. Oh, no, yeah, no, that's part of the London Underground add-on. Yeah. It's meant to resemble Blackstone, but it isn't Blackstone. I think that makes sense. It tends to in my head, but no one else's. That says more about me than it does about you guys, though. But yeah, outside there, the two tracks converge. There is a crossover, as you can see. That crossover will be permanent. There will be one on the other side behind me as well. All of this area here will be a filled-in bridge. You may have noticed during the time-lapse on the other side of the station, but it works for this side as well, that I added windows on the bottom level and then filled them in again. And I think that is basically going to be because this is going to be a single viaduct that goes across and then slowly works its way back in. When I say viaduct, I mean like, you know, the railway arches in South London particularly. It's going to kind of resemble that, but more of a Neo-Georgian style. I did have to double check before when I was recording this whether or not this is a Neo-Georgian building, and I found a townhouse that looked almost exactly the same as this style of build. So yes, I'm going to stick with Neo-Georgian as the design. I'm sure there'll be an architect out there somewhere who is currently suffering a coronary. How dare I call this a Neo-Georgian design? But I'm going to go with that. Whatever. Right, onwards then. Down the stairs. You see we've got stairs, escalators and lifts. I really like the stairs, the way they fit in with the build. These are the McCaw's Bridges stairs. The only downside to it was I couldn't find a flat platform here, so I had to use slabs. But I do have I do have bridge supports here, which I think look really cool as well. So I'm a big fan of those. Also, I love these pillars that go right the way up to the ceiling. That was a key part of the design when I was coming up with this as well. And it actually does a pretty good job of making the escalators look less intrusive. Even though here, like, you have to walk around them, we could put a little retail unit or something underneath here, and that can sort of cover the stairs section as well. And then you've got these two walkways either side. I think that actually works really, really nice. We've also got these dividers that go down here. More on what they're for in just a bit as well. Here's where the lifts spit you out. Again, really like it. The lift shafts themselves, I'm not a huge fan of the iron blocks. They may get swapped out. That's a simple world edit thing. No biggie. I might swap them out for the same type of quartz that we've got on the outer walls though, because I think that might work really well as well. To go through the barriers then, you got the barriers out on the left here, you got the barriers in on the right, although it's the other way around if you're coming into the station. Unlike Western Docklands, I tried to integrate as much signage into this one from the get-go. So you'll notice at the top there's signs pointing you to each platform on both sides, coming off the escalator or the stairs. There's also signs here at the bottom telling you where the lifts are and where the stairs and escalators are. And you'll also see it points to the exit here. There's the no entry on that side. There's the exit sign here. And if I come through here, we've got the sign saying this way to the platforms 1 and 2. And this one's no entry. We've also got departure boards here. I don't like these. They look really ugly. One of the problems is space. So you can see light rail 01. You can see kind of the font is stretched and then it's compressed. And there's no spaces, margins, I suppose is the right word, between the station name and the platform number, and it's all like squished together and it just looks a little messy. But then you look at the gap between the platform number, which is the 1s and 2s, and the time, and suddenly there's loads of space. So I think the formatting of the departure boards could do with a little rework. I know that the developers of the mod are working on things like that. Obviously it wasn't a priority for the 4.0 release, which is understandable. You want to get all the features working. The pretty stuff you can fix whenever. So these may change in the future. I'm not a huge fan of them right now, but they do the job. The reason there are 2 departure boards here is because it's not just trains that will be operating through here, and it's not just the light rail trains. There is room for expansion in this building, which is another key part of the build. That was a feature that I wanted to include from the start as well, was extendability, because some of my stations don't have that, and that's made future plans a bit more of a challenge than perhaps they could be. But yeah, it is what it is. This concourse level then, not really mentioned it much, but again, nice, big, airy, plenty of space, high ceilings. That's always a key feature. Again, this station was designed from the start to have these big high ceilings. The pillars as well, we've got the central pillars still that go all the way up. I really love the fact that you can see the roof from the ground level here. Again, key aspect, really glad that we got that in. But we also have these side pillars that hold up the platforms themselves. They're not centered as such, but they still... In fact, I'm struggling to believe that that is actually the width of the platform above. But it is. No, it is. It really is. Also, these side glass things here, they do give you a lot more space, because they technically are about a barrier. You can't go through it, but they don't take up the whole block like a fence does. So you get an extra block's worth of space pretty much. So that's why we've got this nice airy walkway here that is actually only 4 blocks wide. And I think that's what threw me off just then. This doesn't look wide enough for a platform and a track, but it is, I can assure you. There is also a double thick wall here as well, which probably goes into that a little bit too. I do have the... Oh yeah, I have these stairs here to hide where the windows are, or to show where the windows are, to let some natural light in too. I've been inside this station. I'll just headbutt the lamp there. I've been inside this station night and day, and it is equally as bright in both. Obviously the daylight helps a lot, but at night you can still see your way around as well, which is something else I don't always have in my previous builds. These side walkways, these are entrances. The reason the barriers are there is so that you can't get a free ride, basically. If you walk in here, this has access to this side of the street, or this street that comes off the square. You can see again how the viaduct arches would work. You're actually coming out inside one of the arches, so there will be room for that contingency to allow you to do that. And yeah, this whole thing will be a brick arch over the road. I'm looking forward to seeing how that looks as well once it's actually in. But yeah, you come in this way, you walk all the way down to the middle of the station, like so, and then the barriers will be here. Now, I talked about expansion, leaving room for expansion and extension and stuff like that. This walkway here and this entrance, this is the main entrance. This is the square itself. Obviously, there's a lot of work still needs doing, but you get an idea as to how it's going to look. this is the main entrance, right the way through to the departure board at the back. Now that departure board could get ripped out in the future and turned into a secondary entrance that leads onto the street that is just the other side of that wall. I don't think it ever will, but it can be done if necessary. This line of pillars here is actually where a second gate line could potentially go. And the reason there could be a second gate line is because this section of the concourse here can be dug out up to this line of pillars, and a new set of stairs and a new escalator can be put in going underground, and we can actually have some subsurface platforms here too. If I get up the map quickly, Woodbridge over here has a set of subsurface platforms that run west to east underneath the light rail platforms. Imagine a train leaving there, coming along this way, curving up this way, curving along this way, and then the next stop is Breakespeare Square. That is one of the plans for the future. And even if this line doesn't do it, there is also the line that comes this way and goes across to Somerset Square, which is over here. And in fact, you can see them. These are subsurface platforms as well. So there is potential for both of these connections to be made. Perhaps even both connections could be made. We could have an island platform that is actually between two separate lines with platforms either side as well. Who knows? The options are there. If that is the case, then this would go down to another mezzanine level and then would go down to the actual subsurface platforms. But that's all been factored in. The fact that we can extend it in the future if need be. If I come out of this entrance here, you will see that the road on this side as well exists. And now I can tell you what these tracks are. These are actually for buses. They take a while to render in, which is a little concerning. But Breakespeare Square, as well as having trains, is also home to a bus line. There is this stop here, which is, you want to say B1 or something like that. And then there are actually, if I come over here just really quickly, because I want to show you the bus, these are extra bus stops as well that are part of Breakespeare Square. So the station itself is going to cover right the way up to there because the buses are going to be considered. Actually, maybe they won't. Maybe this will be its own station, but it'll be put right next to the station here so that they can be considered a transfer. Out-station interchange is the word I was looking for. The station on the outside then does look a little bit plain. I think one of my... Oh, I can see one of the reasons why it looks a little bit plain. Hang on, let me fix this. That looked ugly. But yeah, one of the other reasons is the roof. This roof here I don't like. So I'm actually going to make the roof go this way. And it will dig into the side of the station there. Because I think that will make it look a lot nicer. There is supposed to be a bus coming. But I think... Oh, I think I know what's happened. Yeah, some of the bus models, I don't like the bus models in this game. I think I asked last episode if anyone had any recommendations for better buses. Because, yeah, there is a bus here, I believe. Maybe there isn't. Maybe it hasn't rendered in at all. Huh, okay. That's a problem too. Let me refresh the chunks. Nope. Nope, okay. That's corrupted as well. I'll go fix that at some point. But there is a test bus line that runs between here and Woodbridge bus station. Which, again, just it runs all the way along this road. Round this roundabout into the bus station and then back again. Simple as that. The bus models are hideous. Most of the ones that I've seen. I would love some good recommendations for good bus models. Anything that is as good as the DLR trains that we've got here, that would be lovely. Just to say that, I was hoping to show you one, but there aren't any. Where? Oh, yeah, the boards are all the way over here. There's one in a minute, but you've seen them. You know what they look like. You saw one at the start of the video. While I'm up here then, I might as well show you the tracks here. So, yeah, this is the convergence point. This crossover, as I said, will be a permanent thing. It means trains can be turned back here if necessary, but for the most part, they will run straight through. The trees and everything here obviously will all be removed. This is the track bed. I think leaving it as the Blackstone works really nicely, in fact. So I'm not going to do anything with that. And then you can see here, this is going to be a straight line still that comes across. And it will slowly work its way in. Kind of like what I've done over at Woodbridge on the northeast side. Yeah, this bit. You can see how it sort of sticks out, up, along, and so on. Kind of make it look like that, because I think that'll work really nicely. There's the train. Yeah, something that looks like this, but in bus form, would be really nice. I did download one that I thought would look really good, and the pictures of it look really good, and that one was invisible as well. So they don't all work. I'm playing on 1.20.4, so if anyone has any bus mods that, or they're resource packs technically, but if anyone has any that could work, again, please do let me know down below. Just one more thing quickly. Yeah, the road layout on the square here. Ignore the roads, the rails, sorry. They will get made invisible. But I just wanted to show you how this could look in the future. The idea being that buses and vehicles and all sorts can actually use these as functioning roads. That's the reason I've done this. There are some very complex junctions, like this one down here. They will all be signalled. I've no idea how, but they will be. And the one over there as well. And yeah, as many of these complex junctions as possible will all be signalled to make them function correctly. This is also a one-way system around the square. I will do that with a lot of my squares, to be honest. And then in the future, Master Trams has created, well, you can see it over here, a bus hub outside Somerset. I can't remember which one's which. I think mine is Place and his is Square. I think. Whichever name this one has. He's built a bus stop outside. If it's possible, I will get my tracks in here and actually turn this into a functioning bus station as well. And then we've got Woodbridge bus station just down here, and then there will be stops along the way down this road. You can see I've left potential for another station here. I'll show you that in a second as well. But yeah, there will have bus routes working through the city as well, and I think I've talked about tram routes before. I think next episode or this episode, one of the episodes was supposed to be trams, but obviously it's now Somerset Central. But yeah. Final thing then, let's have a look at these tracks. So if I follow these along, you can see it then curves here, and yeah, we are higher than Western Docklands because here is the gradient. There are 3 curves here. There's the one on 3 slopes, sorry. There's the one on the curve. There's this one, which is slightly less extreme, and then there's this one on this curve as well. This is the site of a potential future station, and if it isn't a future station, then it at least sits above the road. Although I think if I don't make this a station in the future, then I will reroute the track slightly and put some buildings around here. I don't know. I do kind of like this straddling the road thing. It makes it really dark and dingy underneath, but not everywhere is a utopia, right? So there's potential. And then oh yeah, so the track comes down to the station level, but then you can see here it does actually rise back up again. So maybe it is the same height as Western Docklands, which you can see just over there. Maybe it is. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically it. That's where we're at with this. One final thing to show you. What the heck's happened here? This looks like a meteor or something has done this. Ooh, I don't remember it looking like that. One final thing to show you then, and I might need... What's the button for... No, not that. There's a button for the mini-map, and I've forgotten what it is. Oh, well. Have I picked up an egg? Where did that egg come from? I don't even remember seeing a chicken. I'm going to try and find my way there manually then. But yeah, this is Breakespeare Square. Bus stop outside. Bus stops over here. And then the tracks from here, the light rail loop, they will come out of here along this way, and then somewhere along here they will start curving north. Now ignore all this snow stuff. This may not be permanent. A lot of this I think will get biome replaced. The lakes will stay, or for the most part at least, but this obviously isn't supposed to be a tundra or anything. This is supposed to be in the middle of a city, so we're not going to do all this. But yeah, this is the future site of Somerset Central. Now you've seen this before when we first came in. These are the lower light rail platforms, and they head off that way towards Blue Avenue, Emerald Quarter, I think it is. I've got to remind myself now. I'm over here. Emerald Quarter is there, and then somewhere up in this area, it's been a while as you can see, we've got Blue Avenue, Peninsula Gardens, which is there. So I think Blue Avenue is somewhere up here-ish. and then Reefton, which is this area. And then we got Reefton Junction, and then the loop comes all the way back like so. This is just 1/4 of the city centre. There will be... sorry, this is 1/2 of the city centre. The other half will be over this way, which is why we need to buy and replace all of this. Let me just get that to follow me again. But yeah, this is Somerset Central. I have marked out all of the platforms that are going to exist in this build. I'm not going to give too much away right now, but I can tell you there are basement level platforms, which you can see on the screen right now. There's the concourse level. There are the lower light rail platforms, which you can see train coming into just there. Then there's another set of platforms that I won't talk too much about because they're not for me. And then there's the higher level platforms, including the higher light rail platforms. Everything is marked out, ready to go. If you can work out from all these blocks what the station here is going to look like, then awesome. If you can't, don't worry. You just have to wait till next time, where myself and Master Trams will be working together to build this entire station. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course, if you are enjoying this series, let me know if you like these sort of shorter burst videos where I do a time lapse and then walk you through it afterwards. If you don't like them, you can let me know as well. I like getting viewer feedback right now. It's proving really helpful, really valuable when it comes to these sorts of things. So yeah, do let me know down below. And I'll try and keep everybody happy as best I can. Besides that, you can drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes as well. That really does help me out. And if you have liked the video, be sure to hype it too. It's really awesome when people hype the videos. It helps them grow. They appear on the leaderboard with some other big creators, which is always an an honor. I didn't get choked up because of the honor. I got choked up because I've got a bad cold still that I'm recovering from. So apologies for that. But yeah, it is an honor to be listed alongside some bigger creators who are far more talented than I. So if you can hype the video, spend some points on it, then please do. I'd very much appreciate it. Other than that, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you for your continued support. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll stop making you dizzy now. And until next time, I will see you soon.